Welcome, Dr. Masilela. You know me, so I won't be introducing myself again, but take to this
Good to see you, man.
Victor Masilela, Dr. Victor Masilela. He studied here. He was a very active person here in this institution for ours. A formidable leader indeed. He's been a class rep. He's been the SRC, School of Medicine chairperson. I believe even there in Thelle, he's in some leadership position. You know, these things, they just, you know. So yeah, is there anything that I left behind, Dr. Masilela?
No, an introduction. Thanks, man. No, I think that's fine.
Okay, no, we just shoot straight, man. And thanks for having me tonight. You know, I know that it's calls back to back and it's challenging, but sorry guys, I'm still coughing. It's the COVID, but it's fading away. But shooting straight, Dr. Masilela, in terms of the hospitals, you know, did you choose? Was Thelle your first hospital? Or it was your second, you just got posted there and then they gave it to you?
No, I chose Thelle. Thelle was my first option, and but some of my colleagues here, they didn't know about Thelle. They were placed here, but I chose Thelle. I made it my number one, and I think this year, students from SMU, we are a lot as compared to the other years. So I think we had 35 in total, and 20 something is from SMU. Yeah. So what I did was, you know, they give. I don't know if they've opened applications already.
They have opened in terms of finalizing your details, but not of selections.
Okay, yeah. So you choose 5 options. You can only choose one metropolitan hospital, and then the rest. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay, sharp. Yeah, so you choose 5. You have 5 options. You choose 5 hospitals, and you can only choose one metropolitan. So Thelle is regional. My metropolitan, I think, was, what was my metropolitan? I think it was a hospital in KZN. So what happens is it's 5 options and 3 provinces. So if you want to be in Gauteng, you have to make your first 3 options to be in Gauteng. Then the last 2, one should be in another province, the other one should be in another province. So I chose Thelle, Leratong, Sebokeng, those were in Gauteng. Then I chose Limpopo as my 4th option. Then my 5th one was Grey Hospital in KZN. So that's how it works. But then we also have options of, if you are married and you want to remain in Gauteng, they do allow you those things as well. So the most important thing is you need to decide, where do you want to be in terms of a province? Do you still want to remain in Gauteng, or you want to go to another province? At least if you do that, and then you'll have an idea of where do you want to be next year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what I did, yeah.
No, I'm not sure if it's on my side. I'm not seeing you there. I don't know if it's my network or what.
Yeah, no, hence I was asking if you can hear me, because I see it's just, let me try to.
No, I can hear you, you know, in terms of what.
Yeah, but yeah, I see I can't move as well. Let me just stop the video and then start again.
Yeah, please. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So you're talking about the hospitals, the first 3 being Gauteng and so in terms of you being Gauteng, you decided because of was it something that you had in Gauteng, or you're from around Gauteng?
I trained in Pretoria, so I did not want to do internship in Pretoria. So I wanted to just learn and meet new people, start a new life completely. Not far from home though, but far, you know. Hence, I chose Johannesburg. Hence, all my first 3 options were in Johannesburg. So that's what I wanted for myself. Some people, they want to remain in Pretoria, hence they choose George Mogoerane and so on. So another thing is, if you're gonna put Bara or George Bukari, they will definitely take.
Dr. Masilela, can you hear me? I'm not certain if it's my connection here. You know, honestly speaking, the connection is very disappointing. So I'm not sure if you're still there, if you can hear me. Victor. Dr. Masilela, are you still there? I cannot hear you. I'm not sure. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear Dr. Masilela? I cannot literally hear him, and I cannot see him on my screens here. You know, I'm not sure if it's his phone, you know, honestly speaking. I hope now Dr. Masilela has bought a phone. Back when here, his phone was struggling, you know, like always. It was always, I don't know if he can hear me, but oh, guys, Dr. Masilela was always losing phones. His phones were just something else. I hope now he got a new phone.
I'm back.
You're back. I hope now you bought a new phone. You know, back then I was telling people.
Yeah, I'm still. Yeah. Hey, you need a functional phone as an intern, so I had to get a.
Yeah.
I had to get a new phone. Yeah.
Oh.
But as I was saying, if you're going to put Bara or George Bukari as one of your options, you are most likely going to be taken there. You know. So I chose Johannesburg because I wanted a place that was not too far from home, and yet I'm going to be able to meet new people altogether, you know. And as much as Thelle is filled with students from SMU, we were not particularly friends. So it's people that you can see, they're familiar faces, but then we were never friends. And I eventually became friends with other people from other institutions, you know. So if you really want to be in Gauteng, let your first three options be in Gauteng. But be very careful if you're going to put Para and George Mukari because you will most likely be taken there.
Oh, okay, perfect. So why Thelle Mogoerane? Is it Thelle what?
It's Thelle Mogoerane. Yeah. So I needed a hospital with, I think for me, what was important was DQ. I needed a hospital with the proper DQ. That for me, that was what's important. And Thelle has very good DQs. It's known for that, you know, it's known for having good DQs, of which it is really, because it's fully furnished. The only thing you do here is buy a TV stand and a TV. So you do get a bed, sofas, fridge, microwave, and quality things, you know. I mean, this microwave is Defy. So it's quality things. And it's clean. It's clean. Yeah. They clean no, actually, you clean your own apartment, but the place itself is well maintained. Also, we don't know load shedding here. The moment there's load shedding in Vosloorus, the generator kicks in immediately. So we don't really struggle with that, you know. I think for me, that is the pros about the DQ here. It's clean, it's well maintained. And also the cleaners, you can talk to them, they can clean your house and you give them any money you want. They can do your laundry. So basically, it's well maintained. The garden is clean. Yeah.
In fact,
I think that's a good thing. Yeah.
No,
because many hospitals don't have good DQs.
So I've heard.
Very few hospitals, yeah.
So you are.
Yeah, Steve Biko. Yeah. No. So what happens is, we are separated by a road, the main road. The hospital is on the other side, and then the DQ is on the other side, and then it's connected by a bridge. So at night, when you're on call, you don't have to cross the road. You just use the bridge to go to the hospital and come back to the site DQ. Yeah.
Perfect. So like
Yeah.
just take me, is the DQ, is it like flat, you know, like just like fast
Yeah,
flat?
it's I wish we had it actually during the day. And my camera is not good. But I'll send you a video. I have a video. I'll send you a video, then you can just distribute.
Oh.
So it's flat. So there's the main gate, and then on your side, on your left side, it is where students stay, because we stay with students. Final year medical students from vets, the Cuban ones actually stay here, and final year nursing students stay here. So they stay on the right side, and it's for a res, it's good, but for DQs interns, no, it's not. You wouldn't want to stay there. But for final year students, it's actually a good res. Yeah? Then on your right, that's where we stay. It's flats, 3 floors and 4 blocks. The first 2 blocks are for first year interns. It's a bachelor. Then when you move to second year, you move to the last 2 blocks, which is 2-bedroom apartments. Okay. They are also fully furnished. And then, yeah, so it's 3 floors, 2 first blocks are for first years, bachelor. Then the last 2, it's for second year interns.
Oh.
So obviously no ComServe here. Okay. And then there's another block in the middle. That's where the qualified nurses stay. Yeah, and then there's a parking lot in between these 2 flats.
Oh, okay. So your machine is parking inside the garage, or
yeah, it's yeah. So there's the parking there. You can tell that when it was designed, the parking is there's a parking where you can lock the gate, but we don't use that because I mean they're so tiny and they're quite far. And then yeah, what's annoying about this place though is I think number 1, it's the rules. That's the biggest problem. No sleepovers after 10. So if you have got visitors, they must leave at 10 o'clock, and no sleepovers after that, you know. Number 1. Number 2, they are rats, you know. I stay at ground floor, but they don't come in, and they're quite big. They annoy me a lot, but you get used to them. You really do. But we're trying to fix that problem of visitors. It's just that the management has been, they just don't want to meet, and they always blame COVID. You know, they blame COVID on everything, you know. But in terms of the rules, the sleepover thing, Ahmed, you negotiate. Those guys are nice. Those securities, they're really nice. So I wouldn't say it is a huge problem, so much so that as your visitors valley, they don't, you won't be able to have sleepovers at all. And another thing is at night, I mean, so during the day, they just put a cone at the entrance. But at night, they close the gates, obviously, because no visitors allowed. So they close the gates. They only open to cars that they know. So you can bring your visitors, because when you come in at around 10:30 at night, they don't check the car. They just the electric gate, and it just opens, and then you just go in. You know, so you just find your way to manipulate the system in any case. So for me, the rule at 10 o'clock is not such a big problem. Yeah, one. Yeah. So in terms of, okay. And then the reds thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, the reds, we're still trying to do the pet control thing. Yeah, because but they're here at night only. They come out at night. During the day, they're not there.
You must be scared of them. You must be scared.
Yeah.
Tell me about the DQ. Now you are
that's the
bachelor.
What was saying?
Like now, tell me about where you stay now. You are on the bachelor now.
So I'm on the bachelor now. We pay 900 per month, but the 900, you know how they did it. When you get your salary, it's already deducted that 900, so you don't see it at all. Okay, so you pay 900 to stay here, and then it's a bachelor. I'll send you a video, because even now that the camera is not good, I was going to show you, but let me see if I can do it now. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so this is the door. Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
So the door leads you outside. Yeah. It's next to the gate. Then this is the fridge. Yeah. Kitchen. This is how it looks like. Stove. There you go. Yeah, one. Then this is like your mini dining area. Let me see if I can do this. So I bought the TV and a stand. You get these sofas. Can you see curtains? You get them. Then you get the bed. Yeah, so this is how it looks like more or less. Then this is the wardrobe. Wait, is the wardrobe? Yeah. Then yeah, you can see. And then this is your bathroom and your shower. Let's see. Yeah. It's pretty decent if you ask me, as compared to other DQs from other hospitals. You know?
Yeah, no, I've seen worse, man. I've seen worse. It's bad.
Yeah. I think the only hospitals that I know that have good DQs in Gauteng, Leratong has two types of DQs actually. Leratong has a very trashy DQ that's very terrible, and then it has this one that it's in Rodeport, I think. That one is good. Steve Biko has very nice DQs as well. I'm not sure about the other hospitals, eh? The other ones, yeah. Para bad, Poloso bad. I'm not sure about Sibuking. I think Sibuking also has good DQs. I'm not sure though. I'll have to ask my friends there.
They're nice. That I once did one video with one of the
Yeah.
side. So now tell me about. I'm not sure if you guys have anything in terms of the, because there are a few audience there. If they got anything in terms of the DQ, they can ask. But I think you only bring the bed and the TV and the stand, right?
Yeah, you only buy your TV and your stand. You get the sofas, the table, chairs, microwave. Yeah, you get everything literally. You only bring your duvet, your bed, yeah. And then you can change it around, man, you know. But there's nothing much to be done. The second year ones are bigger and they're nicer. Yeah, they're quite big and nice, those ones.
Oh, perfect. I think you guys, if you have oh yeah,
are you deep in Vosloorus? So we are next to the entry. So we're not deep in Vosloorus, which is good. We're not deep in Vosloorus. We are literally next to the entry. So when you off ramp from the entry, you will see you like 5 minutes to Thelle. And then there's Chicken Licken, there's McDonald's, there's Steers. So you got these shops, at least if you need food, you can. Debonair's does deliver, but not McDonald's. But I've seen Debonair's deliver and Steers. So we're not far from those things. It's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes drive. And we are like 30 minutes from Sandton. Most of us actually shop at Mall of Africa. We're not far from Mall of Africa. It's like 35 minutes. We just drive there. We do our shopping there, most of us. I mean, we prefer Mall of Africa. Some prefer Sandton. Yeah, I mean, yeah. We're really not far from it. We really not. Soweto, we groove there, 30 minutes from here, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I heard of Conca. I've been there.
Yeah, we went to Conca. I mean, it's nice.
No, perfect. So you what about the other? Oh, there's a question there. You can attend that.
So in terms of safety, I feel unsafe around Vosloorus. It's known for being quite dangerous. So I try not to travel at night. Or if we go out with two cars. At least we follow one another, you know. But it's not a safe place generally. But I think when it comes to these things being hijacked and stuff like that, you know, I think when it's your day, man. You know, I mean, a friend of mine got hijacked during the day. He was cutting his hair there, and they took money and everything. And he drives a GTI, Apollo GTI, but they did not take the car. and they drove with him to Social Gube there, you know. So yeah, I think when it's your day, but just try not to travel at night.
No, I think
Yeah.
they've had. So, is there another complex around, except Mall of Africa? I mean, it's fun. I don't have
No, there is a complex. Yeah. Yeah, so if you don't have a car,
Yeah.
at least Uber does work, which is good. It's just that sometimes the Uber drivers will tell you that I can't come there because of the maxi taxes. So because we are next to the hospital, there are taxes. But most Uber drivers don't care. They will come and pick you up. Driver, the Uber system is good, which is what I appreciate because I used to use Uber a lot. So there is a complex called Chris Hani. That's where you get your McDonald's, your Steers, which is like 15 minutes from here. You can't walk, so you have to use the taxi system here, which is also quite effective. You know, they use like a Toyota Tez to drive around. So the complex that we use here, it's Chris Hani, which is about 15 minutes from the DQ. There's also a Pick and Pay, which is next to, they call it the gold spot, I think. It's next to the hospital. It's not far from the hospital. There you get Chicken Licken and Spa and Pick and Pay. And there's something else I forgot. Engine Garage, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you're not far from these things. And you're also not far from the N3. So we just really in the middle of everything.
No, then you can just talk about the hospital straight. If there are any questions, anyone can just type in there.
Okay.
Then they can ask.
Yeah. So the hospital is fairly new. I think it was opened in 2016, I think, if not 15, somewhere there. Okay. And from outside, it looks like a stadium, you know. Then it has 2 floors with its ground floor and then 2, so it's 3 floors in a way. And I started with internal medicine, which was very chilled. I loved it. It was during the second wave though, so it was quite hectic, but I enjoyed internal medicine. We had everything that we needed. It's just that it's a bit disorganized, you know, but you find your feet. With each and every block as an intern, you will struggle the first month because you're still trying to get used to the system. So you will struggle a lot, but after that, you get the hang of things, you know. So internal medicine, fine. I don't have any complaints there. I'm about to finish PEDS. It is the most hectic one at Thelle. It's really terrible. I think the reason why it's terrible is because it is very busy and there's not a lot of interns because it's only like 9 interns. So 9 interns in each rotation. So it's 9 interns and it's very busy. Now kids, obviously it's winter, so they come with a lot of bronchiolitis, asthma and stuff like that, and the casualty gets packed. So if you're an intern on call for PEDS, you are called in casualty, you're called in labor ward, you're called in theater, you're called in the wards. So you see, it becomes very, very hectic. But obviously you have to attend to one that is an emergency. You drop everything. If there's an emergency, you go there. You get called in so many places at the same time. And that's what makes PEDS so hectic, you know. And it's babies, you struggle with the drip, you know, taking blood is a problem. But you eventually get used to it and you actually like it eventually. This month is terrible, but then the last 2 months it's quite good. So, and you always have to call your MO every time. For each and every case that you see, you have to call your MO. But like the last month now, I don't call my MO all the time. I mean, you look at the baby and you decide when as an intern what you want to do, unless you call when you see, okay, this one is an hectic. Yeah. So PEDS at Thelle is very busy. I don't want to say terrible, but I think it's challenging. It's quite busy. Yeah. And I'm going to surgery. So you do first year, it's 4 blocks, and I think it's the same for everyone. Say all the hectic ones: surgery, obstetrics, PEDS, and internal medicine. You do them for the first year, and it's 3 months each. And then you get assessed on the 3rd month. And then, yeah, like Pete, they will tell you where, like, your strength and your weaknesses, and then they rate you, and then you move on to the next block.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Pete's. I think once you finish with Pete at Thelle, you'll be fine. No? Yeah.
You're a pediatrician there.
Yeah.
What are the
And then we do have. I think in terms of resources, I think we are okay. You know, the only thing we don't have is an MRI, but we do have a CT brain. Yeah, I think we're doing well. Each and every hospital, government hospital, has its own challenges, you know. But then I think Tina, we're doing fairly well. You know, I don't struggle to find a needle or a gel core or straping. Those things we do have those things.
You're talking reference to Larry, I see.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
so in terms of the registers, do you have registers? Do you have consultants there?
You know, when they speak about chronic MOs, I've never met a chronic MO. I only started meeting chronic MOs here at Thelle, you know. So, which is, yeah, it's quite strange. But you do have regis. They rotate. Most of them, they train at vets. So they rotate here. Yeah, but your person, your senior on each and every day is going to be, just hold on, guys. I need to switch off this.
Oh, okay, no problem. Yes, guys. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can just.
Yeah. So, your senior person is going to be your medical officer. All the time. Yeah. Reg, not so much. I've never met a reg in internal medicine. I don't think they have one even. Yeah, they don't have one. Surgery, they do have regis. Peds, they do have regis. 2 regis, and then yeah. So the only time you will speak to a reg on call with a reg, but other than that, you'll be talking to your MO on a daily basis. Okay. So ComServe will be your senior as well.
In terms of calls, how do you do? Because I was talking to, who was this? Someone, man. I forgot the hospital. I think it was Temba. They said they expected to have 2 interns per call every day. Does that apply to you guys, or how do you go with?
In internal medicine, you'll be the only one on call, 1 intern with your MO. So their calls are quite nice. So when you're on call, let me start with internal medicine. You obviously 8 o'clock you go to work, then you see your patients. Then at leave because you're on call. So at 1 you leave so that you can catch a break. Then at casualty. When you are done, you can go sleep. You'll only go to the hospital if they call you. And in most cases, in internal medicine, when they call you, they're calling you for death. So you have to come and certify death. That's the most thing you'll be called for in internal medicine. Then, you sleep, you wake up around 6. You go back to the hospital. You see. So, and then you are post-call. When you are post-call, you do all the ward work that you did. Like when you see the patient a casualty, you're going to be taking bloods, booking chest x-rays and stuff. So you retrieve those things. That's what you do. You retrieve blood results. You go fetch the CT brain report so that when the consultant comes for the ward round, at least everything is here. And normally it starts around 8, 9. And when you are done with the post-call ward round, you do the ward work. Because obviously when the consultant sees the patient, certain things that the consultant would want us to do on that patient. And then you do that, then you go home. So in most cases, when you're post-call, you'll be leaving the hospital at around 12. Pediatrics, when you're on call for pediatrics, you do the same thing, 8 o'clock, go to work, and then at 1:30, you leave. You come back at 4. And then you go to casualty. If there are any patients, you see them. If there are no patients, you go to labor ward. Labor ward, So when you're being called in labor ward, it's either you're being called for a baby who just been born, or you are called in theater for a case. Maybe it's a C-section for fetal distress. In most cases, it's fetal distress. So you must resuscitate the neonate. And then, you call your MO, hey, doc, I'm about to admit a baby. he's not doing well, stuff like that. And then with peds also, what's annoying is the fact that when you're on call, literally on call, so it will be quiet, and then after an hour they call you, then you have to leave. So even if you come to DQ, you feel like you're just wasting time. So you can sleep at the hospital. There are rooms there. I think 3 rooms. You can sleep there and wait to be called. Yeah. So for peds, they're quite hectic because you really don't rest. Once you get to DQ, they'll probably call you. Then you must leave because it's probably an emergency. Wow. And it's 24. Okay, so weekends, it's 24 hours. Weekends is 24 hours. But the good thing is you are 2 interns. Wow. Then during the week, it's 1 intern.
Okay. So
it's 1 intern, 16 hours.
How do you, like after how long do you call again?
So it's so it's in total, in a month, you must have 4 calls, 2 weekends, 2 weekdays. So 2 weekdays, 2 weekends. Most blocks work like that. So 4 calls, 2 weekends, 2 weekdays. If you're on leave, of which leave works like this, you take 5 days in each block. Okay, so you have 22 days in total. You can take 5 in each block. Oh, so if you're on leave, then you'll have 2 weekdays and 1 weekend.
No, it makes sense. But are you forced to take the leave in that?
You actually have to take the leave because the days don't overlap. And you will want to leave. I mean, it's quite tiring. Yeah, so you are not forced in a way to take the leave, but just know that those leave days are not going to go over to the following year. You forfeit them the very same year. Yeah. So and then like Thelle, we don't have an MRI. I think that's the only thing. Some of the things we do refer to BARA. So as interns, you will have to do consult. It's called a consult. You have to, so let's say you have to book an MRI for a patient. So you have to call BARA, which takes time to answer. When it answers, you must say, please take me to Department of Surgery. They take you to Department of Surgery. When you get to Department of Surgery, please tell me the doctor on call. Yeah. Then they give you the doctor on call. Then the doctor on call, obviously some of them are rude. They give you a runaround. But you get used to those things,
Okay, perfect. I think so. In terms of the other blocks, have you heard anything about them? Because that's why you've done only 2.
Yeah.
Is there anything that?
Let me see. Surgery. Let me see. There were not much complaints. The only block really that is really a pain in the ass is peds. Obs and gynae, they're complaining that with peds, as much as it's hectic, but your seniors are very good people, so it's reliable people. You can call them, you can annoy them, But then with obstetrics, they're complaining that MOs are quite chronic. Not nice people. Yeah, they're chronic. Yeah, so they're not nice, and that's a challenge because you need an MO that is going to really be patient with you. So I think obstetrics, that's what they're complaining about. Surgery, I think, but post call, you can leave the hospital at 3 because it drags, Second years are not complaining. Second year, I think it's the best year, You do family medicine for 6 months, anesthesiology, psychiatry, they're having the time of their lives, those ones.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think that covers it all in terms of the hospital. And but what is the most important? I mean, everyone has been talking about Thelle now. Why should someone come to Thelle before I talk about something?
I think someone must come to Thelle. I think because of their DQ. If you're looking for a DQ that is comfortable, a DQ that is safe, because we've got although we've got electric fences, they don't work, but there's cameras everywhere. And then there's no alcohol allowed. But I was drunk yesterday here, and we're always having a party here. So hence I'm saying the rules are on paper, man, but you really just negotiate, So I think come to Thelle if you're looking for a DQ that is good, that is safe, that is well maintained. Please come to Thelle if you're looking for those things, you know. Come to Thelle if you really, because I've met some amazing people here and we became friends and we always going out. So if you're also like an extrovert looking for people to go out with, drink with, come to Thelle. I mean, first month, I mean, those second years, they were taking care of us, man, like buying us food, you know, booze, everything that we needed, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think if you want a good DQ, come to Thelle. Also, if you're looking for a place like away, like you don't want to be too far from Pretoria, but you are also not too far from Johannesburg. You can also just come to Thelle, you know, because it's actually not far from literally everything. I mean, it takes me 30 minutes to get to Pretoria.
Flying,
you know.
And what machine did you buy?
It's a 1 series. And when you buy a car, man, you know, I think buy a car that will make you happy. First things first, buy a car, because internship is quite hectic. You work a lot, so you need to, at least when you knock off, at least you get inside a nice machine, you know. Yeah, so but don't pressurize yourself at the same time. Yeah, don't pressurize yourself. Just look at what you want to do, what's important to you. For me, a nice car was important to me. You know, some people here, they say traveling is important for them. Yeah. That's fine as well, you know. So in terms of buying a car, just really look at, do you still want to build at home? Do you have many responsibilities and stuff like that? Because our salary is like what? Plus minus 41,000, you know? So, and then groceries, obviously you want to buy woolies. Cost you like 3K. That's fine. Yeah. Groove. I think most of us interns, I'm telling you, our money groove. Going out, you know. I don't know, there's a certain level of excitement and you can't really stop it, you know. Yeah. It takes a great amount of discipline to actually just sit down and not do anything.
Oh, okay. I think it's because of a lot of work that you put in, you know, like afterwards you just want to, you know, like
you just want to go out, have fun. Yeah. You see, now I'm preparing a clinical presentation. I'm watching this video. You know, it reminds me of I'm preparing so there's intern presentations every Tuesday at Pete's. So I'm doing AGE, acute gastro. So I have to prepare and then you present to the consultant and then that's it. Yeah. And then there's MMM. It's those things that you see as a student. Yeah. I see there's a question that, yes, there are people that stay in private accommodations. We are not far from Alberton. Alberton is a suburb here. I think Prof. Koto stays in Alberton. Yeah.
That could be.
Yeah, he stays here. You see, we're not that far because he drives every day from here to SMU. Traffic, the traffic flows. I think you only get hit by traffic in Midrand, but from here to Midrand, you flow.
Straight away. Yeah. Let's come back here to Midrand to see your people.
No, I'm gonna come. I think I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna come on Monday. I'll be there. Yeah. But I want to come end of block in. I want to come when you have end of block, man.
No, around the 16th of July there. Around the 16th of July. Half year.
Yeah. Which week are you guys doing? Are you second week? Of a block.
This is third week. Fourth week. Sorry, fourth week from today. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, most of the things that we learn about, man, you don't do them. What you manage things completely. You know what I mean? Yeah. There we're just doing things for you're just studying because you have to do end of block. But most of those things, man, you're not gonna do them. Then the protocol that is done by that hospital, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you'll see most of your life as an intern, you just taking bloods, following up the results, prescribing, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what you mostly do. So in theater, I've seen my colleagues assisting and also being the main surgeon for obstetrics, which is a good thing. You know, oh, and another thing is I did not want an academic hospital because I wanted to come and assist and stuff like that. Because I mean, within an academic hospital, it's you, it's the reg, it's the student. So what are the chances of you being the main surgeon? You know, they're quite slim because the student must be given a chance. The reg must be given a chance. You understand? So there are students here, Thelle, but there are not many. It's like 2 or 3.
Oh, okay.
So also, if you don't want academic hospital and you wanna be in Johannesburg, I'd also just advise that you come to Thelle, because at least you are also out to be the main surgeon, and you do these procedures. You know, they allow you to do these procedures. The MOs are nice, they teach you these things, and the next time you do them alone, you know.
No, I think
Yeah. So,
but I think
so for me that is
okay. No, you can go ahead. You can finish.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only disadvantage really it's that it's in Vosloorus, you know, which is not such a safe place. But we live in South Africa. I guess there's no really a safe place per se. You know?
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Yeah. So I just really try and avoid by all means not to be out by 9. I'm just inside. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I see. So yeah, I think we just left with a few minutes before close, and I'm not sure, guys. Ask any question that you have from Dr. Masilela here. But in terms of the money, man, what can you talk about? I know that I'm not sure if everybody does it. You know, there's this thing that they talk about, the insurance, the policy.
Yeah, those things. I haven't started, but I think I'm going to go for a hospital plan, because a medical aid for me doesn't make sense because I don't have a chronic illness. So in most cases, in our case, they like to advise us to get a hospital plan. So obviously, hospital plan will cover you should something happen to you, and then you go to the hospital, and then they take care of you there. It covers that. Yeah. And then in terms of retirement fund, funeral policy, all those things, I'm gonna start those things later on. Maybe around December there. Some of these interns, they started second. I mean, the seconders are busy running around now. They don't want to smoke for 3 weeks because they're gonna come and test them. So some of the people are starting with retirement funds on their second year.
On the second year, yeah.
But I don't think it's something you should start with immediately, like January, February.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also depending on which hospital you're going to, obviously you'll have to buy a bed, a fridge, a microwave, a TV, you know what I mean? So those are the things you'll be focusing on for the first 3 months, 4 months. And then that's when you can start looking at funeral, what, in retirement, maybe around June, July. Because that's what I'm doing now. At least I've covered most of the day. I've got a TV, you want Wi-Fi, you want to be comfortable first, you know?
Yes.
Before you get start thinking about So of course, I mean, I'm used to that, you know. So those are the things that you want to be comfortable. Then you can start looking at other things like retirement fund. And you all need to save, especially if you're going to have a car. You need to start saving. Yeah.
No, I think I've come to the end of the session, Dr. Vic. What I can only ask now is the last words you have for the students, the interns that are currently going to be, I mean, the students that are going to be the interns.
Yeah,
those ones. And also the juniors. I hope this is also being watched by the 5th years, the juniors, 3rd years, you know, something that you could the coming interns. What do you have for them? You know, any words, anything that
any words, I think no, I think 5th year and final year, they for me 5th year was more challenging. Final year was not so much, you know. And I think what you need to do is you can't. This may be controversial, but I don't think it's possible that you can study every day. You know what I mean? But try to at least, when you study things according to systems. At least this week you're doing CNS, next week you're doing RESP. That way you won't forget certain things. And you need to study common conditions, because that's what you will be asked. and also do past question papers. I think one of the mistakes I made, I never did past question papers, you know, and they would always repeat. And people will do extremely well, you know. So never underestimate the thing of doing past question papers. You need to do them because you stand a chance of doing well. And yeah, like I said, study things according to systems. CNS, what are the most common conditions in CNS? Study those. CVS, and so on 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 and so on. That way you will be able to at least cover most of the scope, because there is no way you will cover the entire thing. Yeah, well, yeah. So try to at least study that way, have a system, and then you'll be okay. Because in most cases you will get common conditions at the exam. Yeah. So obviously you also have to qualify for, I don't know if that's still the, to qualify for the OSPI or the OSCE. That is actually your main exam. So at least try to do well in those things, because at least get above 40. And then you at least you are safe, because above 40, I think 40 is the pass rate, if I'm not mistaken. 40 or 50, which I'm not sure. No, 50, I think. I'm not sure. But no, I think 45. No, 45 is the re-exam.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure.
Okay.
But just really aim to do well in the OSPI and the OSCE, because that's what I've realized. Many people that had redos is because they did not do well in the OSCE and the OSPI.
Oh, okay.
And you'll be asked common things, you know, and like most of these end of blocks, the OSCEs and the OSPIs, they really want to see your approach. So when you study a condition, you need to know what are the causes of that condition, number one. Also, doing a pathology of it can you understand better, and then investigations, and not just investigations. What will you see on the investigation? And then management as well. Okay. Management, you just have to line it properly, admit the patient, take bloods. In most cases, you have to take bloods. That's what you'll be doing. Take bloods, and you do baseline, FBC, UNE. You have to mention those things, you know, because those are the things that, those are baseline bloods. They will guide you. And then there are specific investigations like both CT scan and what would you want to see on the CT scan. Okay. Most cases, management, you have to mention IV fluids. That's what we must do. So when you see a patient in casualty, you take bloods, baseline bloods, FBC, UNE, CRP, then you put IV fluids. It's either you use Ringer's lactate or normal saline. At least there you are safe. Then they can see, well, okay, this student is thinking, you know. Then, yeah, the management, it will depend what the patient has. But it's very important that you mention you will take bloods and you'll put IV fluids, because that's exactly what you'll be doing as an intern. At least you are stabilizing the patient.
I see that the FC College of Medicine, it's waiting for you now. It's waiting. It's waiting.
You get used to it when you learn on the go, eh?
Yeah.
And honestly, it does not matter where you trained, eh? You will see, we all struggle with the same thing here as interns. Those from UCT, VERTS, wherever, we struggle with the same thing. And it really doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
all the best, guys. Finally, it's very stressful, but it's worth it at the end. Life is softer after school. Yeah. No, but all the best, guys.
The Conca guys. I'm sure you do well. The Conca guys are saying. Then who are we? Who are we?
Yeah, man. I mean, also when you go into this, like when you go out to Bokonka, Rockets, those places are quite expensive, but we share the bill. So we'll end up like 8, and the bill is like what, 4,000, 5,000. So you just divide by 5, and then you end up paying 800, 900. But obviously, when you go out, at least budget 1,000, yeah,
Get some savannah.
These things that I'm talking about, it's something that you really want to do, man. I mean, you can't study for so many years, and when you become an intern, you still want to live in fear, or even just try to have fun, but in a responsible way.
Okay. No.
So we went to Conca, we booked a table, the bill came, we shared the bill. So we never really paid too much. It's just like we paid that 5K alone. So in most cases, you will share the bill. And for me at Thelle, I really met amazing people. People that are like me, we like to go out, you know. So we always like going out, having fun. It's just really amazing. Some are from SMU, but some we met them along here. But it has a lot of SMU people. This place.
I hear you, Doc. So just one question: the timing in terms of, before we close, the timing in terms of those that want to locum, does it give you the free time or it doesn't?
In terms of locum, it will be good if well, I was actually talking to second years that I want to start locuming next year when I'm doing second year. They said, no, start this year, because with locuming, you need to build like a relationship with these doctors. You know what I mean? So in terms of locum, you do get the time to locum, but it will be easier to locum if at least you rotated in internal medicine, because then you have a knowledge about medication. Because locum, I agree, you work in most cases, you'll be working at a surgery. So you'll be prescribing the same thing over and over again, antihypertensives, diabetic patients, and stuff like that. So in terms of locuming, it's actually legal. I'm sure you guys know, but you meet people, second years, that know doctors, and then they will hook you up with these locums. And then when you will see your roster, because the roster comes out every first day of the month. So you'll check, okay, I'm on call this weekend and next weekend. The last 2 weekends, I'm not on call. And then there's a doctor maybe who needs a locum last weekend. So yeah, you do go. And you make good money, man. I think 4,000, 5,000, you can make that kind of money with locum.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Yeah. So for you to be able to locum, you must know second years or people that have been around, or even an MO, you know, from the hospital. Who will tell you, because some of the MOs here, the reason why they haven't went to specialize is because they run their private practices. So one of the MOs here will tell you, but I won't be able to go to work maybe on the 8th on one weekend. Can you come and locum for me? Then you can go, you know. So locum purely is based on your networking and who do you know and who does that person know.
Okay.
But it requires also a lot of discipline, because I mean, sometimes you'll be on call 3 weekends, the other weekend you want to rest, but you have a locum.
It's money.
So,
yeah.
It's money, man. Yeah. It's good money. In most cases, you chow that money, they drink it all the time. But at least it saves your salary.
It saves the salary, you know. It's an extra cash.
Yeah, it really does.
Dr. Vic, thank you for your time, man. I really appreciate it. I'll send you the
thanks, guys.
People that you might know, you know, what do you call this? KZN, any provinces, you know, then you just hit me up who's there. But above all, thanks for your time, man. I really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone that has been here.
Yeah.
And
thanks, guys. All the best. I'm sure you will do it. But also don't worry too much about strike. You know, you should worry. But what I've realized is you will forever be prioritized as M6. And just know, Shem, when there's a strike, all eyes are gonna be on you, and there is no way they will allow you to go back to class.
We've passed that.
That's just the unfortunate part, yeah. So just know when there's a strike, even if you can write letters to the dean, you wanna go back, it's just not going to happen. It's really sad. That's the reality, you know. Because the moment you want to have someone is going to send a link to a comrade there in the gate, and then they start insulting the professors, which is not nice, you know. But one thing I know for sure is they will always try to make sure that you finish this year and start the internship on time. Because the problem with starting internship late, it affects you until you become an MO. Because if you start internship a month later, it means you will finish internship a month later. And ComServe a month later. And that is a problem as well, because ComServe is exactly like internship in terms of the applications when they open. You see? So if you're going to start in February, you will have to wait for the cycle to open, which opens in April. You see? So also just try not to repeat a block, because that will affect you a lot. But obviously circumstances do happen, life happens, but if you can, try not to repeat a block, because if you repeat a block, it means you will be there next year from January until March. The cycle only opens in April. Also, if you have a redo, it means you have a redo, you'll only have a redo in January, then you'll have to wait for the cycle to open in April. So there are people that are still unemployed because they are waiting for the cycle to open. So it only opens twice a year, April and now. Now it opened for you guys to apply. Yeah, so that's how it works.
Okay.
But I do foresee that you will probably have redos in January, which is really sad, you know.
True.
Yeah. But yeah, in most cases, you will definitely finish this year.
Okay.
Did they cut the blocks?
Not really. Not really.
No, not really. Okay. Yeah. If you strike again, cut. They only cut blocks when they are really under pressure. Some also they won't cut, yeah. But they do everything in their power to make sure that you finish. Okay. You might take oath even on Christmas, you know. Okay, guys, all the best.
Oh no, thanks.
But yeah, if you got any questions, yeah, just call me.
Yeah, they can also follow you on Instagram there. It's Victor Masilela, you see.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I know. So you can give them my numbers. I don't mind really.
I know, I'll definitely do so. I'll share them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All the best, ne?
No, thank you, Doc, and thanks to everyone who tuned in.
Sharp.
Hola.